Welcome to the course on dynamics of machinery, unit number 4, balancing. So in this presentation we will see direct and reverse crank method to solve the balancing problems of radial engines. So radial engine means like the different cylinders of that engines are mounted on the same shaft radially. Okay, so let us see now how we can make analysis of this kind of radial engines. So actually V engines, which you have seen in the previous class, that is also a radial engine with the two cylinders. So whatever the method that we are going to solve here, a graphical method, that method we can apply to the V engines also. So in the previous presentation we have seen how we can solve the V engine problems by analytical method. So radial engines with more than two cylinders are also existing. So since the plane of rotation of the crank is same, there is no unbalanced primary or secondary couple in these kind of radial engines also. So only there is a primary and secondary force unbalance is there. So but definitely now we will make use of this direct and reverse crank method. So what we are doing is the primary unbalanced force. Now initially we will consider that there is a direct crank. That means suppose this is your cylinder, this is piston, this is connecting rod and the crank. So we are going to, this crank will rotate in the clockwise direction, so we are going to call this crank as a direct crank. Okay, and on this direct crank, this is nothing but the radius of this crank, it is rotating with an omega. So in the downward direction, in the reverse direction, this another crank, we are considering an imaginary crank. Okay, this is also rotating with the omega having radius r. So we are assuming that the half mass is mounted over here, m by 2. Okay, and the half mass is acted or is being mounted over the reverse crank. So m by 2 we are mounting over here and m by 2 over here. Okay, so in this case now whatever the force will be there, so this is nothing but the force m r omega square by 2 by the mass attached on the direct crank, and this is the force due to the mass attached on the reverse crank. So you will find out that there are vertical component. This is the one vertical component of this force and this is the vertical component of this force. So this is downward and this is upward, so therefore it is getting balanced. That is what is specified here. The vertical force balance each other and the horizontal force will be equal to, now you will see that the horizontal force, it is m r omega square cos theta by 2 down left side, and here also m r omega square cos theta by 2 here also on the left side. So this force and this force. So when I add these two, the total nothing but is equal to mr omega square cos of theta, so which is acting in the downward direction. This is what is actually the resultant force, means generally the force which are supposed to balance for a reciprocating engine, mr omega square. So to balance this, actually we are considering that half is balanced, put it over here, half mass over here and half mass over here. Okay, so this is what is the method, direct crank and reverse crank method. Now this what you have shown the primary unbalanced force. Now same we have to show the secondary unbalanced force. So secondary force will be shown on a secondary crank. So secondary crank is rotating with the 2 omega. It is at an angle of 2 theta. Okay, it is secondary direct crank and its radius is r by 4n. So what is the force if I am keeping this m by 2 over here? Okay, so what is the force will be generated here? That is equal to m by 2 r by 4n in bracket 2 omega bracket square. That is nothing but equal to m omega square r by 2n, the magnitude of this. Okay, so its component, vertical component will be m r omega square sin of 2 theta by 2n and horizontal component will be m r omega square cos of 2 theta by 2n. Similarly, I am putting m by 2 on the reverse crank. This is also rotating with the 2 omega. Its radius is again 4 by rn and it is minus 2 theta from this line of action. Now the force over here is m by 2 r by 4n 2 omega square. So its horizontal component is m r omega square cos of 2 theta by 2n and vertical force is m r omega square sin of 2 theta by 2n. So here also you will find out that this vertical force and this vertical force will get balanced, while the horizontal force, this one towards left and this one towards right, it will be added and the total force will be m omega square r cos of 2 theta by n. This is the magnitude of this particular force. Okay, So with the help of this analogy, now we are going to solve a numerical, and then we will understand how we can make use of these primary and secondary crank positions. Okay, so let us consider that there are three cylinders of radial engine have their axis at 120 degree to one another, and their connecting rods are coupled to a single crank. So here you can see that there are three cylinders connected by using this single crank. Okay, the stroke length is 100 mm. Okay, and the length of each connecting rod is 150 mm. So length of connecting rod is 150 mm and stroke length is 100, so half of that will be the radius. And if the mass of rotating parts per cylinder is 20 Newton, find the maximum primary and secondary forces acting on the frame of the compressor when it is running at 2880 rpm. So when the stroke is given, we can find out the radius, half of that, so it is 50 mm, that is 0.05 meter. Then stroke length is given as length of connecting rod is given as 150 mm, so it is 0.15 meter. Obliquity ratio, we can find out L by R ratio, that is here in this case it is 3. Mass is 20 by 9.81, so it is 2.03 kg. And omega is 2 pi n by 60, so 2 pi and n is nothing but 2880 rpm. If we put this value here, you will get that omega is equal to 301.59 radian per second. Now with this data, now I will just try to draw one table. In the table I will write the position of these three cylinders. Okay, primary crank and secondary, means there are primary direct crank, I will write the angular position of that cranks, and primary reverse crank. Similarly secondary direct crank and secondary reverse crank. So let us consider that this is nothing but the line of action of, or line of stroke of the cylinder 1, this one. This is line of stroke of cylinder 2, and this is line of stroke of cylinder 3. Okay, so this direct crank is having angular position of 0, so your mass m by 2 will be here. It means you are going to mark that mass, half mass over here at an angle of 0 from this particular line of stroke of the cylinder. Okay, then this is 120 degree from the secondary for the second cylinder. Okay, so from this cylinder, now your crank position is at 120, so from here I will move clockwise, okay, by 120 degree, and I will put the mass m by 2. So this is my second mass of the second crank, m by 2. And now 240 from the third cylinder line of stroke. So this is the line of stroke of the third cylinder. From here 240, so from here to here it is 120, and again from here to here again it is 120, so total will be 240. So the third mass will be also coming at the same location, m by 2. Okay, similarly now we will see that how you will do it for the reverse crank for the primary forces. So these are again same line of action of the first, second and the third cylinders. Okay, so now I will try to mark the position of these masses according to their cranks. So my crank, first crank is at 0 angle, so first mass of the crank 1, m by 2, will be coming over here. Then this is line of stroke of cylinder 2, so it is minus 120. Okay, so minus means I will go in the anti-clockwise direction, so I will go from this side to this side here like this. So minus 120 means my crank mass on second crank will be m by 2 over here. And now third is 240, so from the line of action of third, this one, again the anti-clockwise direction, so from here it will be 240, so yeah, that mass is coming over here. Okay, like this. So now with these things you will find out that there is a mass, only total mass m by 2 means of the three cranks is coming on the one side of this particular, while in this case it is coming at different positions. So I will try to plot the force diagram for this, and here I will find that. So for m by 2, for first crank mass, this is the vector, for second crank this is second vector, and this is for the third, so this is third vector. So all these are in the same vertical upward direction, so I will get this particular polygon like this one. Actually it is a not a closed polygon, it is open polygon, so it will be showing the unbalanced. So primary direct crank will be shown as an unbalanced. Okay, and now if I have to calculate the magnitude of this particular unbalanced force, so I will find out that this m by 2, m by 2 and m by 2, it means 3 times of m by 2. Okay, so 3 times m by 2. So 3 by 2 of this m multiplied by omega square multiplied by r. Okay, so if I put these values, I will get this primary unbalanced force 13848.13 Newton. Okay, now similarly I will try to find out the for the reverse crank. So in case of reverse crank, now if I have to plot these three masses, so let us start from the first. So for first I will draw from here. Okay, from this point vertically I will draw m by 2 for first, then this is m by 2 for third this way, and this is m by 2 for the second. So I will get a closed polygon. It means the primary force in by the reverse crank, it is balanced. So primary reverse crank is being completely balanced, while the primary direct crank is having unbalance, and that magnitude is this much. Now this is what about the primary force we have seen. Now we'll talk about the secondary force. So in this case, now the angular position of the secondary cranks are marked in this table. So this is the line of action of the first cylinder. So this is the zero angle. So my mass m by 2 will be lying over here. Okay, now 240 degree. This is the line of action of the second cylinder. So from here 240 degree clockwise. So this is 120 up to this, and again up to this one. So for the secondary force, secondary crank m by 2 will be coming over here, and 480 clockwise from this third line of stroke. So this is 120, again this is 120, 240, again it is 140, that is 360, and again it is 120, that is 480. So third crank mass will be lying over here. Okay, so now with these three masses, if I draw the polygon, so first I will draw this one for first cylinder, for the first crank. So this is m by 2 for the first. Okay, then this is one m by 2 for third one, second, and m by 2 for third one, like this. So this way I will draw first, then this I will draw second, and this I will draw third. So I will find out that it is again a closed polygon. It means the secondary direct crank is balanced. Okay, now I will see the secondary reverse crank. So for the secondary reverse crank, these are the angular positions of the cranks. So for first 0, so m by 2 will be here for the first crank, as it is 0. Then minus 240 from the second of here. So it is anti-clockwise 240. So from here to here 120, and from this point to this one is 240. So for the second mass also coming over here. And now for the third it is 480. So this is complete 360 and again 120. So it is third mass also coming over there. Now if I plot this polygon, or if I try to represent this mass as a vector, so this is for the first cylinder, this is for the second cylinder, and this is for the third cylinder. So all these three will be in the upward direction, and here you will find out that there is an unbalance. So secondary reverse crank is unbalanced. Now let us try to find out the magnitude of this secondary unbalance. So secondary force will be equal to 3 times of this m by 2, okay, multiplied by 2 omega square multiplied by 4 by Rn. So this gives me 4616.04 Newton force. So in case of secondary, there is a reverse crank is unbalanced, and in case of primary, there was a primary crank was unbalanced. So primary direct crank was unbalanced. So total sum of this will be giving me the total unbalanced force. So first force I got it as 13848.13, and second is 4616.04. So sum of this will be nothing but the total unbalanced force on this particular engine, or 3-cylinder engine. So here we'll stop. So thank you very much.